Welcome back to World's News. Not that surprisingly, we'll talk about the British Queen this week, but also their new Prime Minister. And we'll also have a look at new developments in the Russo-Ukrainian war. And yeah, here's the thing. There was much going on this week, which is why I've had very little free time in which I usually produce videos. So this will be all topics for this week. I hope that's okay with you, but let's hear what this channel is about. World's News is a channel dedicated to delivering news on a weekly basis. Within each video, we try to pick out the most important or funniest news and explain their origins, development, as well as possible outcomes to inform you about the world you're living in. But let's start the video. We obviously have to talk about the Queen. Queen Elizabeth II peacefully passed away last Thursday. Now, I know some people recently liked her less and less because of racism allegations against the British royal family sparked by Meghan Markle. And there even were rumors that Meghan Markle wasn't welcome at the Queen's deathbed. But let's focus on the good things about her. I mean, she reigned for over 70 years, and till the end, most people did like her. Apart from that, some racist behavior can be put down to her age. When she was a kid, racism was part of society, and she also was raised this way. Now, this obviously doesn't excuse racist behavior. Racism remains one of the, if not the worst thing in our society. And I really don't want to defend her in that matter. Anyways, I didn't want to talk about her flaws. So, Queen Elizabeth II was the English queen for over 70 years, and she became queen at the age of 25. After that day, she dedicated her whole life to her country. In this time, she fulfilled her duties during easy times, but hard times as well. And at this point I'll stop with regular stuff. I mean, let's be honest, there are hundreds if not thousands of documentaries and other videos on the Queen. And I'm sure most of them had bigger teams working on them or more time spent in research on Her Majesty. So I'll tell you some things that you haven't heard before. Let's start with some interesting and fun facts about Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth II was crowned almost 1 year after officially becoming queen due to busy times and preparations for her coronation, and she was the longest reigning monarch ever in Britain. As queen, she was served by 15 prime ministers, and she was the only person in the UK who was allowed to drive without a license. Apart from that, she bought her wedding dress with World War II ration coupons. And she was a third cousin to her late husband Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, since they both were great-great-grandchildren of Queen Victoria. So yeah, I hope you learned something new, and King Charles III will do a good job being king, because if one monarch can't reign anymore, this kingdom obviously needs a new leader, or in this case representative. Now to another thing which happened in the UK. After ex-Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced his resignation on July 7th of this year, Liz Truss is now the new Prime Minister of Great Britain and North Ireland. The 47-year-old is the UK's 56th Prime Minister and its third female leader after Margaret Thatcher and Theresa May. Liz Truss was elected to Parliament in 2010 and, quoting CNN, in a relatively short period of time she has established herself as a political force of nature who pursues her agenda with relentless vigor and unequivocal enthusiasm. In the past, she served under 3 prime ministers and several cabinet jobs, the most recent being foreign secretary. So that is some career, and she actually met the Queen shortly before Her Majesty's death. So in one of her first days as Prime Minister, the British monarch died and a new king was proclaimed. That's one interesting way to start into your term. But enough with the island people. Let's move on to the Russo-Ukrainian war. They are quite progressive over there. According to Ukrainian officials, Ukraine's military has gained back some territory in the northeastern Kharkiv region. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky even said that a key city in the region had been reclaimed by Ukrainian forces and that Russian offenses across the country would be repelled. Apart from that, Ukrainian forces have also reached the city of Kupiansk in the region, which is a key logistics and supply hub for Russian forces. Even Russian military bloggers and analysts who are usually supportive of Russia's campaign in Ukraine criticized Moscow's failure to predict a Ukrainian counteroffensive in Kharkiv and the lack of troops and equipment in numbers capable of stopping Ukrainian troops from proceeding further. But that's not even it. There really seem to be some headwinds in Russia. First, Mikhail Kodarenok, a Russian military analyst, talking about how bad the Russian situation is on Russian national TV. Then there are the previously mentioned military bloggers and analysts criticizing Moscow's failure in the Kharkiv region, and on top of all of that, there seem to be Putin haters in important political positions in Russia as well. Because now a group of councillors in Smolninskoye, a municipality in St. Petersburg, called for Vladimir Putin to be charged with treason and to be forced out of office, since this war had only led to the death of many Russian people, the NATO expanding even further, and great economical damage. That in fact is a very interesting thing coming from the inner Russian circle, but I'm afraid we won't have to think about the wonderful future this campaign could have. I mean, let's just rewind last week's video. Apart from that, we had another one of these weird coincidences. Another high-profile business executive in Russia died in mysterious circumstances. Now, these councillors were summoned for police interrogation, and to be honest, I don't want to imagine what they'll go through in the coming days. And here's a little bonus fact that I didn't add to the script. The Zaporizhzhia power plant, which we have talked about in the last 2 videos, was now completely shut down, so we probably don't have to fear a nuclear disaster there. And that's it. I told you it would be short, but anyways, next week we'll probably cover at least 3 topics again, that is if there won't be something special one topic video worthy. But I really hope that this is it with wars for the next decade. Or for longer actually, I don't want war. But it seems like the only thing left is this week's bonus fact. Humans aren't the only creatures who love drugs. Horses, for example, eat hallucinogenic weeds, elephants get drunk on overripe fruit, and bighorn sheep love themselves some narcotic lichen. Apart from that, dolphins also do get high. Pufferfish produce a venom which would normally save them from being consumed, but dolphins take them in their snouts and just chew a little on them to get small doses of this venom at a time. That small dose then induces a trance-like state, and they share this experience too. Schools of dolphins have been seen passing pufferfish between each other, so everyone can have a piece. And yeah, what should I say, they remain pretty laid-back animals.